And the biggest thing we have when it comes to kitchen fires is getting distracted, okay? So the whole saying, not cooking while you're looking.
I would just not look at them. I would just
Oh, yeah.
on the food instead.
Right, so Alistair's got that on the stove. That's slowly cooking away. We can see the flame underneath that.
You actually see it on there.
And just for reference, we have about half an inch's worth of oil in this pot, okay? And what we're going to demonstrate here is how quickly these things get up to heat. When they get to heat, they rapidly combust and they ignite without needing a flame source. And then we're going to show you the do's and don'ts about how we put these out, okay? But while we wait for that to cook up, Alistair's walked away. He's got distracted because that's our biggest cause of kitchen fires and house fires. Over 28% caused by not looking while you're cooking, okay?
Not what you
So Alistair's gone away. He's folding, washing and vacuuming while this is cooking on the stove. He's not in the kitchen. He's not watching, okay? So let's see what happens in the next couple of minutes. Now, while we're talking, on the left-hand side here, we might be able to see a multi-box on the door. Can you run see the multi-box, all the kids in the front?
Yeah.
Now, it was always something we say as we overload them, okay? Look at all the plugs hanging out of this. It's an old yellow multi-box, it's aged. These things are only good for so many years and so many triggers, okay? And one thing we don't want to be doing is loading them up with plugs that
Oh,
suck
yeah, I know what you
heaps of
mean.
power. And a prime example of that is anything that heats, okay? Heaters, fan heaters, element
Yes, that's the
heaters.
thing on the side of
We
it.
don't plug those into our multi-boxes because it draws too much power and it destroys the internals of the power box. And then we can start to get a few things like that happening, okay? We've also got our laptop on fire there. Can anyone see the laptop?
Laptop on fire.
Right. Who here in the raise of a hand charges their laptop or their phone on their bed?
Oh, wait.
No? Under their pillow?
No.
Yes.
Right. One of the issues we're going to have with that is that beds are like fuel, okay? Or a couch. A couch is the equivalent of 170 litres of petrol. That's how rapidly they combust and how fast they burn, okay? So we need to be charging these devices on hard surfaces that if something happens and the damage of the lithium-ion battery goes up, they're not going to burn fast, okay? The next one we have down here in the corner is the heater. Everyone can see the heater? Now hands up here, especially the kids that are done fire-wise. Who here remembers the meter from a heater?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we remember the meter from a heater?
Yes.
Same thing, right? So the biggest thing here, and we can talk about it, is we've had fires recently, like in Burnham, for example, is that these heaters are so close to the things they're heating that they rapidly combust and they ignite as well, okay? So anything we say is a meter from the heater, we need that distance so it doesn't get hot, doesn't combust. We're starting to see that, if you guys can see here, we're starting to get a little bit of smoke coming up out of our pot, starting to get pretty hot. So we've got Amy here. Amy is a career firefighter in Christchurch at the airport, and she's also a volunteer here in Ashburton. So Amy's just going to go over, she's just going to check this pot. Let's see how hot it's getting. Right, we're starting to get a bit of smoke building up, okay? So that's been about 3 or 4 minutes. It's starting to get pretty hot. Another minute or two, we're not going to be too much away, okay? So as we were talking before about our kitchen fires, this is an oil fire, which is the most common one we see for fires that are not being watched, not cooking and looking. And the biggest problem we have with our oils is that when we have these fires, people are grabbing the pots, they're running with them outside, and as they do that, they're spilling oil everywhere, they're burning themselves, and they're spreading the fire, okay? Because as you spread the oil, it doesn't go out, it continues to burn, and normally there's curtains and carpets and lino that burn with it, okay? So we need to be careful that if we are going to have these fires, we're not going to try and move it, we're going to leave it in situ, and we're going to show you the next steps. How's that looking now, Amy? Not too far off. While Amy's doing that, we're coming into summer, the weather's starting to get pretty good. Who here is going to get the barbecue out? Who's going to have mum and dad cooking on the barbecue, maybe helping them?
Me?
Awesome, right. So the next little thing here is your little barbecue. Little barbecue in the corner here.
I love a barbecue.
Everyone loves a good steak. Not many people clean all the fat underneath.
I've never
Not many
barbecued
people are
so
checking the seals in their LPG cylinders. So when we're having our barbecue fires, we had a couple in Timaru last year. They burnt the deck and burnt the side of the house. We need to be thinking of where we're putting our barbecue, okay? We don't want them in too many places that are undercover or against the building, because any issues we have, we're not going to be able to protect that building, and that's what spreads into the feet of our house onto our deck, okay? Our fats and oils inside those barbecues, we need to be keeping them clean constantly, because if we don't, it builds up and all the fats and oils ignite like we're going to see here with the pot. Now, can anyone here see a little bit of smoke coming out of that lid? It's starting to get pretty hot. I can smell hot chips from here. Might be worth another look again, Amy. Right, there it is. So it hasn't taken too long. Chuck that lid back on. Look at that. It's gone out. That was easy, wasn't it? Didn't even have to move anywhere. Right, so we've got a couple of things. Right, we talk about the heat triangle, which is how we light a fire. We have heat, oxygen, and fuel. Nice, someone got it. Right, so our fuel is going to be our oil, our heat's coming underneath, and oxygen. When we introduce oxygen to the fire, it ignites, okay? So what we need to do, if we're at home and we think it's a small fire like we have, we're going to suffocate it, okay? We can't take the fuel away, we can't take the heat away just yet, so we're going to smother it and take away the oxygen out of our fire triangle. So if we take that lid off again, this is going to combust. Right, did anyone see any flame there before we opened that lid? No. Was there any flame underneath it getting that going? Yeah. It was purely started on heat, okay? So what Amy's going to do is she's going to use the lid, like you saw before. We're going to lay it away from us. And that's one way we're going to smother that fire, we're going to leave it. We don't carry it, we call the brigade, okay? 111. We'll take that off again, Amy, and it should start up again. There you go, there's one I prepared earlier. Right, the next option we all have is tea towels, okay? Now we don't want a dry tea towel because that's just going to add fuel to the fire, isn't it? Right? So we're going to dampen the tea towel, we're going to wet it down a little bit, we're going to fold it over our knuckles like Amy's going to show you, and we're going to lay the tea towel away from us over the lid. Perfect, nice and easy. Amy, did you get your hands burnt? Of course not, she's ruined gear, duh. Right. So same thing, peel that off, Amy, let's see if that kicks into gear again. So that's still got that heat in there, doesn't it? Right? So this is showing the importance that when we're laying these across, we're keeping it, we're leaving it, we're calling the brigade, okay? We don't want to see you guys dealing with it. So imagine this is in your kitchen. This is rolling through your kitchen. Your kitchen's got a roof. This is filling with smoke, the heat coming off of that. Can you guys feel the heat down there? Right? Your wall's on fire, your curtain's on fire, your roof's on fire, okay? The other thing we have is an oven tray. Everyone's got an oven tray. Dad probably doesn't know where they are. But we're going to, same principle, okay? We lay it on and we lay it away from us. This one's a little bit warped because it's been heated a few times. But it's not really working that well, is it? Right, we'll take it off again. So now what we're going to do is Amy's going to demonstrate. Right, everyone saw Alistair take a drink of that, so we know there's no fuel, it's just water. Do you want to taste? No. Right, so this is just water, okay? And this is going to show you what we don't want you to do. Because what happens when we dump water into a hot oil fire, steam is created and it expands and bubbles, and by doing that, it's going to spread the fire, as you guys are going to dramatically see, okay? So Amy, on the count of 3, I want you to dump that water on that fire because we're going to try and put it out, and let's see what happens, okay? You want to count down? 1, 2, 3. Right, now, I want to show of hands from everybody. We've got at least 100 people here. I want to see a genuine hands up if you did not think that was going to happen. Anyone that did not think there was going to be such a big fire. So there was less than an inch of hot oil in that pot, and there would have been an inch of water in that cup, okay? That inch of water expanded over 100 degrees, oil comes out, that spreads that fire. Right, it's come out now, hasn't it? Well done, Amy. Clap for Amy. So, where we see that fire come out to almost here, didn't it? The photos are going to show us. And it was higher than the trailer. How's that going to look in your kitchen?
Absolutely horrible.
What kitchen?
It's not going to look good, right? What kitchen? Real good.
Yeah.
So we've got to keep in mind, right, if we're going to use these fires, we're not going to try and carry it out and burn ourselves, spread the fire. We're not going to try and put water on it because it's going to make it worse. We're either going to try and smother it and cover it, or with a lid normally, and we're going to walk out, call 111, okay? We can open a window, we can shut a door, whatever, but firstly, we want you guys out of the house because you are not replaceable, the house is, okay? But that shows how quickly these things can escalate through your house. So thank you very much. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Alistair. Thank you for the turnout and thank you for coming to the Ashburton 150.